Sani Abacha once said that he's not scared of the mainstream media. He's not scared of electronic media, but he's scared of cartoonists. Yes.
So what has social media got to do? Because he's a social media influencer. What has that got to do with cartoonists?
No, I mean, most times the best way to pass information on social media is either you're mimicking someone or you're using pictures or you're doing something that is out of the ordinary.
Okay.
But it is passing the message. And if you really take time to watch that video, you will find out that all he did was to pass a message so that the ordinary Nigerians on the street, especially the northern extraction, would understand.
Because that's an economic news. That's a very I wanted to say it's an ambiguous conversation.
Yes.
So the way he tried to break that down, if that were to be true, it would help you understand the maths that you don't understand.
It's take for instance when comedians want to pass an information, and you go for a comedy show, and they tell you somebody. If for instance, if a comedian wants to tell you that somebody collapsed and died, if a doctor tells you the person collapsed and died, you would not,
So comedians make it lighter. Okay.
And it passes the message. So that video, as small as it is, as immaterial as it looks, conveyed a lot of message. It had a lot of information, and I think that is also part of what is, creating the heightened level of protest in the north, because suddenly people are beginning to understand, that look, this thing is not just. Let me put it this way: it's not just about the present administration. It's about how the northern elites themselves have held their own people bondage.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
This is about bondage now?
Yes, it's about bondage. Okay. It's about suppressing the ordinary people. People are now beginning to ask questions. Every month, the governors collect money.
What do they do with it?
What do they do with this money? So that video is beginning to touch the consciousness of a lot of people.
So people are beginning to wonder, there's something called oil wells. So there's something called this. So there's something called number of oil wells. There's something called refining. There's something. So there are even other byproducts from oil.
So where are they? What is going on?
What's going on?
And people are beginning to ask, okay, if Nigeria as an oil producing nation has about 3 or 4 refineries that are moribund, and then one person, an individual, has built a refinery.
If that is true,
has built a refinery. That is in quotes. Okay. And yet, this same government or this same people in power do not see the need why that refinery should survive. So it's creating a lot of question in the minds of people.
Because I remember the analogy he gave. He did say, I wish I can play that audio, but unfortunately I can't. The analogy he gave is the fact that the particular country in question, Malta, being half the size of Lagos State alone.
Good.
So if an entire country that is just half the size of Lagos State could have a functional refinery, then Nigeria will go and buy crude
blend
oil
the oil and bring it back.
And let's assume we're not blending. That we're buying crude refined product from. That is, that country that is half the size of Lagos State can refine their own oil or refine oil and sell to us. Then why can't a whole Nigeria that is Lagos in one, which is 2 times the size of Malta, and then other states in the cannot refine their own. So it beggars for answers.
The truth of the matter is that our leaders, I don't want to call them leaders. Our rulers are very wicked. They're very
but this is preceding administration. So from Obasanjo, you have to pass to Yaradua, to Jonathan, to President Muhammad Buhari, to President. So it's not about one particular person alone. So this is leaders.
It's a continuum.
Exactly. So we're talking about all our leaders now.
Until we come to that realization that your own administration does not end, because it is not about. For me, it's not about Bola Tinubu. It's not about Buhari. It's about structure. It's about continuity. We do not have a structure in this country.
So who builds that structure?
A few years back, you used to hear 5 years rolling plan, 10 years rolling plan. It was like there's a rolling plan that every administration must follow. If I start today and I don't finish it, it's a race. It's a relay race. Somebody must continue. I'm handing the baton over to somebody to continue. But unfortunately, each administration wants to end on its own. And that is why you have a lot of uncompleted projects lying across the entire country. Because everybody that comes in is like, I want to build a bridge. I want my name to be written in marbles that I built it. This is not what governance is all
Instead
about.
of you to continue the one another.
Yes, it is not. That is why a local government chairman would use the money of the people, go and dig a borehole, and he wants to put his picture there. He wants to gather the whole community to come and commission it. The same thing the president does, the same thing the governors do. It is totally wrong. It is totally unacceptable. You are working for the people. The people employed you. You are not the one who employed yourself. So we need to have a structure. I keep saying it. Nigeria needs to have a structure that is working and devoid of who Mr. President, the governor, the Senate President, or anybody in power is. And we need to have a functional, a realistic constitution. What we have today is not a constitution. That document is the bane of the problem of this country.
All right. Let's just jump away from that. Lagos, welcome to the show. This is the Evening Rush, 90.3 Voice of the People FM. Now, this is where Nigeria's finest conversation takes place every evening. So if you've not been joining the show, my name is Precious and I'm your host. So here we get to talk about topical conversations as we're making the round all day, right? Let's get you straight to the hot topics that we've had this evening. Protesters reportedly invade Wike's residence in Port Harcourt. But then, police says Wike's house not attacked by protesters. But then again, back to Port Harcourt, day 6 of End Bad Governance protest in Rivers Volatile. Demonstrators block major roads. That's even as in Ojota, they refused them, they didn't protest today. I'll get feedback from our correspondent who was live in Ojota today, and he did say he faced some harassment by both thugs in Ojota. And I'd like to give a big kudos to SP Benjamin Hundeyin, who helped rescue them from the hands of the thugs today in Ojota. Moving on, Nigerian government places End Bad Governance protest sponsors on watch list. Nigerian government places End Bad Governance protest sponsors on watch list. Let me even say it the way they said it right, so you understand. They say sponsors of protest in diaspora now on watch list. Immigration boss is saying that, so that in case you think you want to go and sponsor protest, finish and come and stay back in our country, they say I should tell you that you are now on watch list. I'm reading the headlines. I
want to take that.
Please. We've not given details now.
Whenever the security apparatus in this country say you're on watch list, it's laughable.
Why so?
Yes. We've had people who are going about kidnapping people. We've had bandits all over the place. We have terrorists terrorizing the entire country. You and I are aware of the fact that farmers in some part of the northern states, including Benue, are being made to pay, some form of taxes to non-state actors. How come nobody has any information about them? Nobody has any database on them. How come they are not on watch list? Why is it that our government is
Are you saying that
busy?
Are you saying that the terrorists like Boko Haram and bandits should also be on watch list?
Are they not more terrifying than the protests?
Why do you think that they are not really?
If they are, what have they done about it? Have they told you about it? I mean, today the immigration woman was saying how they are prepared to arrest people and hand them over to the relevant authorities. The DSS is saying, we are freezing accounts, we're doing. I mean, people are asking this government, people are saying to the government, we are hungry. The way you are ruling us is unacceptable to us. What a right-thinking government should do is to begin to find solutions. Now, when you begin to harass people, you are going to, on your own, as a government, create anarchy. And this is not what we want. I think that the way the government is going about this whole thing is not the way it should go about it. I've said it here before. I'm going to say it again. We should learn from how President Jonathan handled the issue of protest in this country.
Okay, so moving on, still on the end, bad governance protest. There was no record of police shooting of protesters, so says Inspector General of Police Egbetoko. He says no protesters were not shot by the police. No record of it. All right, so there was no record of police shooting of protesters, says Inspector General of Police Egbetokun. He said that. And then moving on to other issues, still, I think, on the protest and bad governance, 2 Nigerian women embark on a 10-day sit-out, protest in Abuja. Say we'll go sit out until we end this matter. Well, Sheikh Hussaini tells senators how to impeach Akpabio because of the statement he made about protesters that you people gonna be protesting, we'll be in our house eating. I'm fatting. He didn't say fatting, no. It's me that said it. Okay. So there's a report about Dangote's company that Fitch downgrades Dangote's Industries Limited over liquidity issues, Naira devaluation. Say the price of Naira, the fact say Naira don't go down, don't Ben Johnson over dollar, don't affect in earnings. So it be like say the money no reach like that again. Reinstatement, APC summons in Dume, you'd also hear that. And Dangote used Nigerians' money to become Africa's richest man. Adeyan just alleges. So he says, food prices will soon reduce. Calm down. Food prices will soon come down drastically. Customs Service assures Nigerians. Because these are the hot topics that we have this hour. But let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll begin to dissect these and other issues one step at a time. This is the Evening Rush 90.3, Voice of the People FM. You're welcome. Evening Rush with Pressures, featuring sound and informed guests across various sectors to discuss matters rising on Hot Topic Pod.
What was the rate of inflation, and Demi, what was the exchange rate?
Intense conversations, critical analysis,
from the views on the street,
you go to bed empty hunger,
to the blaring horns of a hustling city. The loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lodge.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and pressure for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents.
Corruption kills 3 things that makes a society.
Representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television, truly a voice for the people.
Evening Rush with Pressures, featuring sound and informed guests across various sectors to discuss matters rising on Hot Topic Pod.
What was the rate of inflation, and Demi, what was the exchange rate?
Intense conversations, critical analysis.
What is wrong with us 200 million people? We can't even give our shares.
We sometimes disagree.
When we say our GDP, it's not an oil-dominated.
To agree.
Hey, like what's going on here? You caught that again.
I saw that. On Hot Topic Pali, Monday to Friday, 6:15 p.m. to 9 p.m. 90.3, Voice of the People FM, Lagos. Now you have a voice.
Who plays? Oh yeah, this is.
Yes, Lagos, you are welcome back. It is still 90.3 Voice of the People FM, and yes, it is still the evening rush. So let's get started with the conversation very quickly, as it's got to do with the protests, especially in Rivers State, because protests did not take place today in Lagos State. But I would have a correspondent, give us feedback as to exactly how the protests took place in Lagos State today. We had a correspondent in Ojota today to cover the protest, and they would send us their feedback, and I would get across to them and get back to you as soon as possible. But moving on, angry youths are protesting against bad governance and hunger across the country. Today, Tuesday, reportedly stormed the Port Harcourt residence of the Minister of Federal Capital Territory (FCT) here in Wike. It was gathered that while the protests have subsided in Abuja, it continued to gain momentum in Wike's home state. Now, the protesters gathered outside the former Rivers State Governor's mansion in Port Harcourt as the demonstration entered its day 6. In reaction to the development, the Nigerian police was informed it has deployed more officers to the area to maintain order and to ensure safety. In fact, as a matter of fact, the PRO of police said that she's unaware of Rivers State, said she's unaware of any attack on Wike's residents by the protesters. That is the River State PRO, Iringe Koko. She did say so, that Grace Iringe Koko, that she's not aware of such incident, that she's very sure that nothing like that happened because the building is very well handled and very, very well policed, as it were. But let's move on to other issues that happened today in the protests, as the evolving social unrest triggered by protests against hunger and bad governance is gradually becoming more volatile day by day in Port Harcourt, River State capital, and its environs, as angry-looking youths blocked a section of the busy East-West Road, NTA Road, and another major axis in River State. Now, sensing a possible breakdown of law and order on Tuesday, the River State Police Command has restricted the protest to 2 venues, including the recreational Isaac Borough Park and a pleasure park, both in the city centre, Port Harcourt, the state capital. Also, the protesters who defied the directive of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to end the protest have shared themselves into various groups, burning more tires and threatening any vehicle without a green leaf fixed in front burner to clear and park. As early as 9 a.m. on Tuesday, the protesters had blocked the Obirikwere axis of the East-West Road and the Rumokoro end, leaving motorists stranded with long queues due to traffic jams. The protesters sang anti-government songs and called on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to do something, amongst which he said he should resign, as reported by Vanguard. One of the protesters, simply identified as Igbaki, vowed, "We will not get tired of this protest till day 10. We are tired and hungry, and we say no to bad governance." The president's broadcast, in fact, he further says the president's broadcast is nothing to write home about because he didn't address any of the issues we raised for embarking on this protest. Tinubu must go, so they quoted. That went on and on and on in River State. I have a few sound bites from River State protest. Let's quickly take a listen.
George, march. Come out, George. make some noise again one more time.
That is Wike's house. One of the criminals. That's the criminal's house. Look at them. Look at the houses. Are we there?
Those were sound bites from the day 6 of the End Bad Governance protest in River State, Port Harcourt precisely, in River State. It was chaotic, as we did here. At some point, they were in front of the house of the president, the minister, the FCT minister, Minister Nyesom Wike. Let me get your reaction very quickly, Prince Francis Chilaka, before we get straight to. In fact, let me quickly take this response from a journalist. Cosby Jones is a journalist in River State. He gave us an insight of exactly what happened in River State this evening. Take a listen, and then we'll get back to you, Prince Chilaka, please.
So my name is Bill Cosby Jones. I'm a journalist, a broadcast journalist in Port Harcourt. Now, listen, the protest from yesterday, I knew that today was going to be more aggressive than it was yesterday. Yesterday we had just pockets of protest here and there. But today, the organizers, somehow I infiltrated and got into their WhatsApp group. I knew that it was going to be very intense today. And so today I woke up in the morning when I opened up the studio line to get feedback from protesters. I saw a new dimension. In the past, we had protesters clustering at the Pleasure Park in Port Harcourt, the Federal Secretariat. Now, I heard reports from Uzoba, the women, the market women, and a large number of persons protesting in Uzoba. I got a call from Rupoko, so I knew that something was up, and it has changed dynamically. And so people from different areas in Port Harcourt started calling in, they're protesting here. And all of a sudden, the atmosphere changed. Every vehicle that you saw plying the road, passing on the road, had a leaf or a branch broken and fixed in the front of the cars that passed as a show of solidarity. Those that didn't show had their windscreen had their side mirrors broken and their cars vandalized. So that was how intense it was. And before you could say Jack, we were getting reports that they had invaded the Minister of Transportation's, Minister of FCT's residence. That's Chief Barrister Wike's residence in Port Harcourt. They did not break through. They were around the house, large number of persons protesting. I don't know. There was no report of violence, but it was just protests. But large number of persons protested, and I feared for what would have happened next, because the peace we had enjoyed in Port. If anything had happened to the minister's house, I don't know if there would have been a violent response, and then everything would just go into smoke. But it was a protest like never before in the city of Port Harcourt and around the River State. All right. So tomorrow, they say they are going to up the ante. They are going to raise the bar in terms of the intensity. That's going to be ×2 of what happened today. As a matter of fact, I'm scared. I might not be driving to work tomorrow. I might just take the safest take the safest. The safest idea should be to go to the office using the public transportation system. So it is already looking very dangerous here in Port Harcourt. So hopefully we might have some more reports to give to you tomorrow, hoping that tomorrow we'll all be safe to even talk about it and laugh over it. But it's getting hot.
And that's from a friend and a journalist in Port Harcourt, Bill Cosby Jones. You can check him out on Twitter at Radio Chief on Twitter. That is on X at Radio Chief. On Instagram, he's at Bill Cosby Jones 9. Bill Cosby Jones 9 on Instagram, and on Facebook he's at Bill Cosby Jones. So Prince Francis Chilaka, let's take your reaction. Did you see this turn of event in River State?
Well, it's not just going to be Rivers State. I can assure you that. It's going to get worse.
But it's come in Lagos State. We thought Lagos was.
What will happen in Lagos? Just watch and see.
No, nothing will happen.
You watch and see.
Oh.
You see, this is as a result of the fallout of Mr. President's unpresidential speech, so to say. Issues were raised. A lot of us had expected. Well, I wasn't expecting. I remember I told you that the president has nothing to tell the Nigerian people. And he said, we need to change this narrative. I keep saying it. It's not the youths that are protesting. It's the hungry Nigerians that are protesting. Let us get it right. We have mothers, we have fathers, we have children, we have kids, we have teenagers that are protesting. So it's not telling me, if you keep saying youths, you're making it look as if it's a child's play. People are hungry out there, and people will do anything. What has happened in Rivers, I had thought that the Lion of Judah, as he calls himself, the White Lion, or whatever he wants to call himself.
One Lion is Yahaya Bello. He's in Kogi State.
I had expected that Wike would have taken an helicopter and come to Rivers State to chase them away, since he has the magic wand to do that. He's a lucky man that they didn't touch the building. But I can assure you that it is getting to that point where the hungry ones will begin to look for those who they believe have kept them hungry and begin to deal with them. We're getting to that stage.
All right. So speaking about protests in Lagos State, we had our correspondents go out to the streets of Lagos State today, especially Ojota, to, because the protesters had said they were not going to protest today in Ojota. But we had to also, because we're journalists, so we needed to cover the environment to be sure that there was no protest and to, get a real-time report of what the situation is in Ojota. We'll have our driver here with us, Mr. Isaiah Ishaya. He's here with us. He would have to narrate what exactly transpired today in Ojota. Isaiah, how far?
Fine, ma.
This one where you breathe in first. Tell us, what happened for Ojota today?
It's a very shock one today. What I saw today, I didn't expect it.
What thing you see where you don't expect? What thing happen when I reach there? Honestly, and how it take be?
When we reached there, it was a very shock one today. When we reached there, we met with a few youths. That is protection. They were there, so we're waiting for maybe to see some of them coming out, and we didn't see any of them, and we decided to interview some of people that we see around. Where we were interviewing, police now come over. They say, okay, from now they don't want to see anybody in that exit again. That is a protected ground. They don't want to see anybody there. They now chase us out. We were coming down under bridge, Ojota under bridge. We were standing there, covering the police, so that the Nigerians should see the reaction of police at a protest ground. So unfortunately, we're thinking what I was expecting. I was thinking maybe our fellow youth that were hanging out around, they will come up and say, why you guys are chasing these people? Because we all know what is happening in the country. So they are the one.
So it was to get it right, it was the police that chased you guys out first.
Police,
the Nigerian police,
yes,
chased you out first.
Out of that protest ground.
The protest ground. Yes. Okay.
When we come down to Ojota under bridge, we were standing there. So we now see youth mobilized with elders that they're supposed to say, no, don't do that, don't do this. They are the ones stand up, flogging us, beating us. Serious.
They were I don't understand. Us.
Flogging us, carry pipe, those alaye pipe, the way they
you mean that these they are not protesters but
they
thugs?
Are not protesters. They just come out. They are against us. They were against us.
And what did the police do?
No, police, they were standing. Police was watching them because police chased us out of the protesting ground. So we're under bridge. So from there now, then come up their own. They said they don't want to see anybody there. They don't want to see anybody there. They begin to flog. There was a journalist. He was covering.
Okay, the one you said from News Central?
Yes.
Okay.
So they
flogged him.
They flogged him. They beat him. Even when they push him inside their bus, they were hitting the car.
Who was now the thugs?
The thugs.
And what did the police do at that time?
Police was nothing. They just hung up around. They were watching us. They didn't do anything.
So the police noticed that incident. They saw. It's not like they didn't see.
They saw it.
Are you sure they saw? Maybe they did not see.
They saw it.
And they did not do anything.
Even they snatched one of my colleague phone. They snatched one of
our cameramen.
Yes. They snatched one of my colleague phone, which we were pursuing them. They should return us the phone. They say no. They are taking this phone to police. When we reach the police, then police asked us, "Are we a journalist?" We say we are journalists. Then I said their hands no D. They should return the phones for us. That's where we get the phone. If not, we don't know how the drama would have
ended. So you said a particular police officer, the PRO, Benjamin Hundeyin, recognized you were from VOP and said,
from VOP, he called us, what happened? We are narrating the story to him. He said, nothing happened with our camera, nothing happened with us. We said, nothing happened with us. And what of the phone? We said, we have collected the phone. We said, okay, no problem.
Thank you. So Matthew Gunswada is a correspondent. He was a reporter who went out with you. Let's quickly take a listen to Matthew narrates the incident. Take a listen.
Call all other people. So I was approached to leave the place. So as press, we should be able to inform our audience. I was not harassed. I was just told calmly that, Mr. Man, leave where you are. Your presence would... Of course, I was putting on my jacket, which was indicating that I was from VOP TV. So they asked me to leave. I left there, then I went to the car park. That was where we parked our car few days back. So while I got there, I was trying to observe the environment. I did a little bit of interviews with some people, some protesters who came to the protest ground. In the Congress meeting, it was announced that there won't be protests today, that everyone should stay back, and then tomorrow will be for matter, that is to honor those who have lost their lives during the protests. So the venue will be disclosed, the proceedings will also be disclosed for tomorrow. So but on getting there, after some minutes, after conducting the vox pop for people, after conducting interview for people, so all of a sudden the security agencies, you had police, you had RRS, and like they came, they said everyone should leave. So myself and all other press personalities, we left there. So when we left there, we got to Ojota Under Bridge. I was doing my outro and intro for the package that I was going to file in for the TV. That's Voice of the People TV, because I'm a reporter of Voice of the People TV. So I'm trying to do my outro, and while I was doing that, I just saw some hoodlums, not police personnel now. So some hoodlums came. They arrested, they started shouting, they hit me, and someone actually came to my rescue. But one thing that was that was amazed of was the fact that one of my crew members, that's the camera person, he was using phone to take me. So his phone was collected. So we had to move forward, we had to have some negotiation. Of course, they dealt with the new Central crew. That was another station that was also reporting on air. So that reporter, Bernard Akele, was reporting on air. It was live. So they had to harass him, they eat him, those hoodlums. They just came. So for my own case, it was a personal encounter, because my other team went to sort out phone issues. So I was alone. While I was alone, I just saw some 3 people, they came. So a man came to my rescue, said I should leave. I said, I'm waiting for my team. He said, English, wait for team, go Jare Monique. So I had to leave. So but my team also came to meet me at the park where I was staying. So that was just my experience. It was not really a good experience, because the freedom of press is something that should be transparent. The press should be free to carry out its responsibility or activities, because we should be able to air our opinion, without fear of people. That is what makes us press. We should be able to. So as press, we should be able to inform our audience. So the role of the media to inform, to entertain, to educate, and some other roles. So if we don't really get what happens, then how do we inform people? So it was just my own form of harassment today that I had, myself and my crew members. So it was not really a good experience. So that was my experience. Matthew Gunswada, reporter for Voice of the People TV.
So, Ishaya, you are corroborating everything Matthew said here. That's exactly what happened there. Thank you so much, Ishaya. I like your response, Prince Francis Chilata.
It is sad that in a democratic setting, a democratic system, we're behaving as if we're in a military rule. And then, when you look back at it, you ask yourself, is this same Bola Tinubu that fought for democracy? Is it the same Bola Tinubu that gathered people at Ojota to protest against Jonathan?
Are you sure it's the same President Bola Tinubu that gave the orders? That's another thing.
Well,
that's another question.
The box stops on his table. Let us be very honest with us. I know there's no need beating around the bush. For every Nigerian that has died in this protest, the president should be held
speaking about that, the IGP came today, Tuesday, while fielding questions at the Joint Security Press Briefing in Abuja, despite video and photos evidences making the rounds on social media of policemen shooting live ammunition at the peaceful protesters. He said that there's no evidence that anybody was shot. The Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Egbetoku, denied the police excessive use of force on the protesters and shooting of live ammunition. We noticed that on Saturday in Abuja, at least that one was by journalists. We saw a vehicle conveying some reporters from, I think, Vanguard, the Daily Trust, the Cable, and I think People's Gazette. Their car was perforated with bullets wound. I'm surprised that they said there was no, gunshots.
Over time, we've had
and protesters
of police who lied through their teeth.
I'm sorry for cutting you. The other day, I thought the police first PRO told us that it was 6 people and not 21 people that died. And then Egbetoku is saying, I don't know.
Because don't forget also, the same police came out and told us that a policeman shot another policeman while trying to shoot at a protester. The same IG before now had told us that some people were killed and the policeman was injured and all of that. You see, when you have people in government who keep telling lies, they'll be always looking for something to lie about. I am totally disappointed that the IG can come out on national TV and national radio and on the print media to say that the police did not use excessive force. It is stories like this, it is lies like this that make people more aggressive and agitated and want to dare the police. Now look at what your reporters are talking about. Policemen standing aloof while people are being molested and harassed. So tell me, is it the same policemen that will provide security for protesters? So it's unfortunate that the IG is taking this line of misinforming Nigerians. And don't forget, this is the same storyline of what happened during the NSAS. The responsibility for people who apparently died or were killed or were murdered during NSAS. We're back to the same page again. It's unfortunate that things are happening this way.
So let's move on to other issues concerning the protest very quickly, because it's almost time for us to open the phone lines. We did hear that Nigerian government has placed sponsors of the nationwide End Bad Governance protest on the watch list. Now, the current controller of Nigerian Immigration Service, NIS, Kemi Nandap, made this known at Defense Headquarters today, Tuesday in Abuja, where she spoke at a strategic meeting convened by the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa. She said the persons who are in the diaspora would be arrested immediately they step into the country. In case you don't understand them, they say the Madam General for Inside Immigration Service don't talk, say anybody will be say join hand sponsor these protests where they happen for Nigeria. If you like, they'll say once you touch your leg, bam, for inside Nigeria, say they go arrest you. So they don't place all the airports and for red alert. Say, how can they wait? Oh, if you see so people them can't enter Nigeria, say maybe they arrest them. That's what she said. She said the persons who are in diaspora would be arrested immediately they step into the country. So, according to her, the Immigration Service has, in response to the protest, deployed more officers to land borders and airports to ensure effective manning of the country's entry and exit points. they go catch. She stressed that the agency has also stepped up surveillance to prevent foreign intervention in the country. Intervention in the country. The Director General, Department of State Services, DSS, Yusuf Bichi, on his part, said the agency had unmasked some sponsors, but he declined giving further information. Bichi, who was represented at the meeting by the DSS spokesman Peter Afonanya, said some bank accounts had already been blocked. And Comrade Ayo Oni, had mentioned it on the day we interviewed him here, that some bank accounts of, their members were actually blocked. So I like your reaction.
Is it the right thing to do at this point in time? No.
Why shouldn't it be the right thing if these are the people sponsoring unrest in the country? Some people will say.
Infamous speech of Mr. President on Sunday. He was calling for dialogue. Now, how do you come to dialogue armed to the teeth? Are you asking people? You're asking people to come for dialogue. In other words, you're creating an atmosphere where you want them arrested. You see, I would say
and the accounts frozen.
I would say this, with all sense of responsibility. The government should be proactive. The government should not allow this protest to turn into a hide and seek game, where the police will be at one end expecting protesters, and protesters will divide themselves into different units. I think that the government should have a human mind, a human heart. Allow people to protest. Allow people to.
But you can see it's already turning violence.
Who is turning it into violence? It's the same government.
In the north.
It is the same government.
Are you towing the lines of
when you pay people to come when you pay people to come and protest against protesters, you are causing anarchy. You are creating the problem yourself. You had people come on national TV to tell you that they were paid money to protest. Some were paid money not to come out. So why is government doing this? Why? I don't know why Mr. President and his team think we're still doing a campaign. We're done with campaign. Now we're faced with the real issues of governance. And we expect more from this government. If the people say they are hungry, how many of the things they raise have you addressed? Is it not funny that Mr. President can tell Nigerians that he's distributing fertilizer when the same farmers are not going to the farms? So what is the essence of this fertilizer you're distributing? At this point, we're talking of hunger, and Mr. President is talking of student loan. How do you marry both together?
But every aspect of the economy has to be attended to.
You start from the major ones.
Okay.
Without food, and without food, people will die. Who do you govern?
So speaking about food, two women, NLB and Hawa Mustafa, have embarked on a 10-day sit-out protest in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, in solidarity with the ongoing End Bad Governance protest in Nigeria. NLB, former country director of Action Aid Nigeria, and Hawa Mustafa, research officer at the Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, are drawing attention to the plight of mothers and the widespread unemployment among graduates. In an interview with I think Channels Television today, Tuesday, NLB expressed frustration with the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's led government that has shown no sign of reducing the cost of governance, exacerbating the sufferings of the people or citizens. She said, quoting her, "Bring down the price of petroleum products. This is a president that fought against fuel subsidy, and now the president has used the same subsidy to punish Nigerians that he's ruling." And I'm quoting her further. She says, "So many things are happening across the country. We are mothers in the land. What they are doing is sending our children against us. Even the police and other security agencies operatives that they are sending are not going to different markets. It's the same things because their money is also useless, just like our own is." And she says, "We are sitting here. Let them come and tear gas us. We, the mothers in the land, are wounded. There is graduates without employment in every home in Nigeria. There is no sign from the government that they can bring down the cost of governance." Well, they said a lot.
You know the irony of this. this protest is taking a new dimension. I can tell you this for free, that if mothers come out the way these two women have come out, if mothers come out and begin to do this kind of protest they are planning
to sit out,
no son, no matter how much you give that person, would watch you tear gas his mother. And you know what that can lead to. Imagine mothers sitting at Ojota and a policeman is tear gassing them, and they have sons. Even the touts, the touts or the thugs as we call them, you think they will sit idly and watch their mother being tear gassed?
Their mothers may not come out.
You think so?
Maybe.
This government needs to begin to act and think straight right now, because it is no longer a child's play. This is going to snowball into what this presidency cannot control.
All right, so moving on now to other issues. Sheikh Hussaini, a former Kaduna Central Senator, Tuesday highlighted the only possible way to impeach Senate President Godswill Akpabio. He said a senator must initiate Akpabio's impeachment by consulting his colleagues and garnering enough number to push his impeachment. He, however, warned that such a senator would be suspended till the next election if the move fails.
It's a coup d'etat. Simple.
Why call for this? So now, does this bring back what a senator from the Southwest said, that it looks like there is a deliberate effort to impeach every Senate president that is from the South? Because almost every Northern senator served their term unhindered.
Between you and I, on the more serious note, let us take away sentiments. How would you rate your Senate president today?
No, don't ask me.
No.
Nigerians will answer. Nigerians, please take note and respond via WhatsApp.
How would you?
I like to know.
Senate president.
Okay.
This Senate president is, for me, is a disaster. Maybe he does not understand, the enormous power he has. He talks to Nigerians.
Was Ahmed Lawal any better?
He talks to Nigerians as if they are not humans.
But was Ahmed Lawal any better?
Nigerian people elected him, even though he came from the back. Nigerians, his constituency elected him, and then the senators made him the Senate president with the help of the executive arm of government. But the way he has been talking since the day he became a Senate president, there is no sense of humanity. He talks to Nigerians as if Nigerians are his housemates. How can a whole Senate or a whole Senate president say to Nigerians, go and protest while we're in our houses eating? That is the height of insensitivity. And nobody will take that. Yes, he should resign. Ordinarily, if it was in the same climate, he should resign.
All right, so moving on.
But what Sani is saying is the fact that, yes, if you want him impeached and you fail, you bear the brunt.
So speaking about hunger, very quickly, apologies for cutting you. So the Nigerian Customs has assured us that the prices of foodstuffs will soon come down, because the government gave a directive that there should be cut down of import duties. And I mean, we should shun import duties on most imported food items and pharmaceutical products. So that means there is good news. The Comptroller General of Nigerian Customs Service, Bashir Adini, at Defense Headquarters Abuja, said this today. He said that some of the imported food items have already arrived in the country and will be cleared without duties and taxes to facilitate a price reduction on them. Just now, well, that was quick.
How do you are clearing them based on what? On mere words of Mr. President?
Maybe the
has any memo been sent? Has he sent any memo himself?
How do we know?
The press should know. Such memo should get to the hands of the press. The press should know. I mean, such memo should not be hidden from the people. So this whole thing about gaslighting the Nigerian people has to stop. It has to stop. You can't be telling us one thing. You're telling us one thing. You're saying the other thing. That is how government has said, we're going to sell rice at 40,000 naira a bag. Now we hear that an online portal has been opened. How do you expect my mother in the village to go and fill the form? And I hear it's for only civil servants.
So if you're not a civil servant, you can't buy rice of 40,000 naira. What's the percentage of Nigerians that are civil servants or that are employed by the federal government? Less than 10%.
So you have to fill a form, you have to print it. Why make life difficult for Nigerians? It's already tough. Things are already hard for Nigerians. Why add more to it?
I was hoping that this was something that was going to flood the market in Nigeria generally, so that everyone can access rice at 40,000.
I don't know. I'm waiting for. There was somebody who called one time and said he was selling rice for 50,000.
I'm still waiting. It has finished.
I'm still waiting for him to call. I'm surprised nobody has called to tell you they have rice, because people are ready to buy.
It was that time. So you're aware that the All Progressives Congress had called Senator Ndume and summoned him for talks, and they have reconciled. So the APC leadership said they would that he has apologized to the House and that they will pass the apology to the Senate, and hopefully they would recall him back or give him back his position. Do you see the House, the Senate, giving him back the position of the chief whip of the House?
I don't know how they're going to do it, because they've already got to somebody else, except they're also going to step that person down, or except there was an agreement from day one that just hold this office for a few months or a few weeks, we're going to bring him back. But if I am Senator Ndume, I will not go back. A man with honor and integrity doesn't go back to his vomit, because it was a national disgrace what happened to him. And if he goes back to it, it means that everything he said, he didn't mean it. It boils down to the fact that it is not about the people, but about himself. So I think that the senator should think twice, in taking any decision he wants to take. All
right. So moving on very quickly, just before we leave, there's a story about Dangote, as Fitch Ratings has downgraded Dangote Industries Limited, DIL, Aliko Dangote's firm, to B+ from AA, putting the company on a negative watch. According to Finch rating, the downgrade of DIL, that is Dangote Industries Limited, reflects a significant deterioration in the group's liquidity position following lower than expected disposal process and operational and financial underperformance compared to earlier expectations. So, the rating firm further explained that the Dangote Industries was downgraded due to local currency devaluation, your Naira devaluation, and lack of contracted backup funding to repay 8 significant debt facilities maturing on the 31st of August 2024. Look like say go fit pay. But meanwhile, activist DG Adeyanjo has accused the business mogul Aliko Dangote of using Nigeria's money to become Africa's richest man every year. Adeyanjo said Dangote has killed a lot of businesses in Nigeria because he hates competition. The constitutional lawyer disclosed this while featuring, on a podcast. So he said. So, do you agree with DG Adeyanjo?
Well, before now, Dangote has been severally accused of enjoying monopoly.
Yes.
And enjoying government patronage. It's not something that is new, and we also know that at a point in time, Ibeto Cement nosedived because they said Dangote didn't won that competition. We also have Bua. If you notice, there was a war between Bua and Dangote Cement over such issues. So yes, Dangote has been a beneficiary of government. Nobody would deny that. He has enjoyed monopoly. And it looks like that monopoly is no longer working anymore, because from the feelers we're getting from this administration, there are people in this administration that feel that whatever Dangote can do, we too can do it. Whatever monopoly is enjoying, we too can enjoy the monopoly. So it's a win-win situation. Good. I understand the fact that the devaluing of the Naira it's affecting every business in this country, not only Dangote. But the truth that we all need to understand is that I'm one of those who believe that Dangote has enjoyed a lot of monopoly, and it's not good for Nigerian business.
All right, Lagos phone lines are open. Let's begin to take your thoughts and reactions on the conversations we've raised this evening. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. 0700 903 903 903. The WhatsApp line is 0817 175 6338. 0817 175 6338. In case you're just joining us, let's run you through the hot topics that we've had this evening. Protesters reportedly invade Wike's residence in Port Harcourt. Then police says Wike has not attacked by protesters. We don't know which one, but I had a journalist, send us a voice note explaining exactly what the scenario was earlier today in Port Harcourt, and also did play us sound bites from Port Harcourt as the protest did take place. Day 6 protest in Rivers Volatile, Demonstrators Block Major Roads. And then moving on to other issues, are still protesting. Nigerian government places end bad governance protest sponsors on watch list. They say immediately they get into the country, they will arrest them. Immediately. There was no record of police shooting of protesters, says Inspector General Egbetokun. So he says. And then end bad governance protest. 2 Nigerian women embark on a 10-day sit-out. A 10-day sit-out protest in Abuja. They say we will sit out. We will day here. We're going to tear gas us on our feet. Sheikh Husani tells senators how to impeach Akpabio. There if he can. Fitch downgrades Dangote Industries Limited over liquidity issues, Naira devaluation. And then Dangote used Nigeria's money to become Africa's richest man, Adeyanju alleges. And we also told you that food prices will soon reduce drastically, Customs Service assures Nigerians. Is this footage making the round about protesters begging soldiers to take over the country, Nigeria, that is necessary for so let's quickly take a little bit of that sound bite, and then I play you some sound bite of the protest in Port Harcourt, River State, and then we'll get back to taking your calls immediately. Stay with us, Lagos. This is the Evening Rush. You heard that sound bite. Let's quickly play some sound bites from Port Harcourt River State. We could play that video for you, actually, or videos of those for the benefits of those who are watching us on YouTube. Let's play you some footages of what transpired today on the protest ground. There are some protest areas in Port Harcourt River State. Take a listen.
Judge, not that Judge, match. Come out that Judge, come out that Judge.
the crowd I am seeing here is so massive. Today, 0700 903 903. You like to say something?
Regarding the protesters in the north.
Yes.
I think it's a fallout of what has played out in Niger. Don't forget that.
Is Niger enjoying?
Well, don't forget that they share border. So.
Are Nigerians enjoying right now?
Yeah, well, you wouldn't know, but then nobody's calling for that. All we're asking is that this government should be able to address the concerns of Nigerians, address the issues that are being raised. I was expecting that by now, Mr. President would have, downsized his cabinet, merged some ministries, sacked some ministers, and then let people begin to see that, yes, you're doing something. Not all these security meetings on how to arrest, harass, intimidate protesters. It will not get us out of this whole thing. So, by now, even if I expect that Mr. President will come and tell us that he's not going to take salary for the next 1 year or 2 years. And the same will apply to others, so that we know that they're there to serve the people and not to serve themselves.
All right. Phone lines are open, Lagos. 0700 903 903 903. If you're calling us on a direct call, but if you want to call on WhatsApp, it is 0817 175 6338. 0817 175 6338. Hello, good evening. Hello. Hello, good evening. Are you there?
Hello, good evening.
Yes, you're welcome.
Christinaka, good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Dayo.
And APC spokesperson, I greet you specially.
You go there all right. I greet you back, my brother. You go there all right. Go ahead.
Hope you are enjoying this government, Sabi.
I cannot enjoy it when my people are suffering. Don't worry. I'm not a wicked woman.
See, wait. See, the truth, we are always saying the fact. We are always saying the truth that this government, like Obi said, if the foundation that brought into power is not credible, then you cannot be credible. We have always been saying no to all this while that these people don't have anything to offer. You can see the way they enter power, and see, look at it now. He's saying that okay, he used his own money to enter the throne, and now he has been proving everybody right. He's not accountable to anybody. He did not attend debate. He did not do anything. And now that's why we are in this state. So, see, the truth cannot be hidden. Now, they are attacking you journalists now. You cannot cover any, protest this thing now. They will attack both the protesters and even the journalists. So, we are, like I used to say, we are all this pretending that we are in democracy. We are not in democracy. It is proving that we are not in democracy. This is how they attack these NSAS people. They attack people when we want to do election in 2023, and that's why we are. See where we are today now. And now look at now we can't protest again now. They will send police to intimidate you. They will send Agbero to intimidate you. Even the police now is looking the other way now, and you cannot protest in your country. Is this democracy? Are we not in a mess already? Like I say, blessed are those who do not expect from this government, for they shall not be disappointed. It's a shame. The worst of us is ruling the best.
All right, Dayo, you know that we're always having problem because of the way you talk, and I had to cut you off at that point because this is what you always do, and you know it's not fair. We have agreement.
Turn the scripture into reality.
Please, you don't have to do that. Please. Hello, good evening to you.
Good evening, Pepper.
Sir, welcome, sir.
Prince, how are you?
I'm doing well, and you?
Well done. We thank your station for what is going on in the country.
Thank you.
My name is Ayepoto. truth is bitter. Now, if there is no righteousness, the opposite is the other, which we are in now. Righteousness exalts a nation. And if the good people rule, the people will enjoy and be laughing, while the opposite is also the same. When the president and his colleagues are protesting 2012, were they tear gas? They were not. Are they shot? They were not. So you see the country we are in now. Lies. The way whatever you plant is whatever you are going to reap. They plant propaganda, deceit, looting.
No. I won't let you say that. But first, to start with, you didn't tell us your name and where you're calling from. What's your name?
I told you, I said my name is Ayekoto. There is a bird, parrot. It's a Yoruba name, Ayekoto.
All right.
And I'm speaking from a Loto Kileni, that is, the truth is bitter. There is no any ounce of truth in this country. If he has reduced the expenses of governance from himself and all the allowances, if he has read that on Sunday, there won't be any protest. You cannot postpone the evil days, so the Idris of March, there is a novel literature book, Evils of March. So for them, if they change and do the needful, what is right, everything will be normal. But they don't want to. See all the wasteful expenses, unwise expenses given to the whoever, those are governments and the masses who put you there suffering. Talk about the election, the tribunal, the Supreme Court, the judges. It's lies. It's unjust. There is no fairness. Unless if God can save, rescue, deliver us from this shackle of bad people ruling us. Lastly, if you check the country, God has blessed us immensely in all ramifications. I'm a village boy. If you check palm tree, you can extract more than 5 important things from the palm tree: oil, broom, etc. We have plenty surplus, but they are spending it unwisely themselves. They know themselves. They don't care about the masses. For them, the higher the better. If they change to cater for the masses, either the postpone, either the strike was cut off, but if they continue that way, they are just postponing the evil days.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much for calling in. Thank you. All right. Phone lines are still open, 0700. Apologies if you've been finding it difficult to call our WhatsApp line. It's now open to receive your calls. Please kindly call us. Hello, good evening to you.
Hello, good evening, Precious.
Sir, you're welcome.
Yeah, Priscilla, good evening, sir. Hello, Priscilla.
I can hear you. Good evening.
Yeah.
He can hear you. Good evening.
It's for a mode of it.
You're welcome. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. So, Precious, what I'm seeing now is, with regard to that flag, that Russian flag, they say the sample in the north part of our country. You see, that thing to me is a sign. You see, that thing shows that people in Nigeria and that region in particular has lost faith in Nigeria. You can imagine an American flag, for example, and an average American citizen can die for his or her flag, that country's flag, because the country has impacted so much in their respective lives. So they are looking up to that country, that nobody or nothing can dent that country's image. Nothing can affect that country. They can die for that country, be it a civilian or a military personnel. So for Nigeria now, that green, white, green flag of ours supposed to be something that we're supposed to appreciate, something that we're supposed to protect, something that's supposed to give enough integrity to. But as I speak to you now, the people in that region in particular, they've lost faith in that flag. So the federal government should not try to go and own those people just for hunting's sake. They should go back to the drawing board and have rethink about what will make them to as far as that level to sample that flag. Fine. Even outside the protest, in some cars you see American flag, you see Ghanaian flag. Where I used to drive then, I used to sample American flag because I love that country.
Thank you. Thank you for real. Thank you. So that others can jump in on the call. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Okay. All right. Phone lines are still open, by the way. Well, let's see if I can start taking your messages gradually. Apologies if you tried to reach us yesterday and today on WhatsApp and you couldn't. Please forgive us, but we've now fixed it. We're sure we can get you on WhatsApp now. So a few WhatsApp messages here. Good evening, Precious, and well done. Please, my name is Kunle Major from First Stack. My only question is, has Nigeria borrowed money already with our untapped crude oil for some years already, please? It's Prince Francis Chilaka that will answer that question because I don't have energy. Well, you listen to what we said yesterday. I'll be on the show.
Yeah, well, yesterday,
okay.
I zeroed in and I was told, and I was meant to understand that even the one we have not discovered, that the money has been collected on it. It's sad. I mean, this is how many weeks down the line Mr. President talked about giving oil to Dangote. But as we sit here, I still get feelers that nothing has been done to that effect. So, as I keep saying,
it may be in the pipeline now.
Too much of this government talks too much with little action.
Okay, all right, I appreciate you. Hello, good evening to you. Please help us turn off the volume of your radio set. Good evening.
Hello, good evening, ma'am.
Yes, you're welcome. Thank you.
Yes, it's Madam Quality coming
Madam
from
Quality, tell us, so the 40,000 naira rice, you don't see him. You don't say you be my market analyst.
Oh, Auntie Precious, wait now. You are too fast. Wait now.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Just wait. Good evening, sir. Dalama. Yes, sir. Adam, sir. Madam Precious, I don't know that in this country that there will be a time for somebody to sign before you can buy a rice. As in, somebody that if you don't know how to read and write, you cannot buy food. I'm just witnessing it now. In the morning, in Auntie Cordelia's program, she told us a link at the website that we should go and register before you can be able to buy 40,000 naira bag of rice. I mean a bag of rice, 40,000. I will still go and look for the link and the website. Now register. Maybe I will tell them that now my name is Ushenna, which is Igbo name. I will now turn it to Musa so that they can be able to sell rice for me.
Who told you that you have to change your name to Musa before you buy rice? Madam Quality, not that. Who told you need to change your name to buy?
I said, wait now. Now Nigeria we dey now.
Are they here?
If they want to sell, if they want to sell rice, let them bring the rice to the market so that people can buy. Because telling us to go and register, what are people which cannot read and write? What will they do? Let them die of hunger, Abi.
All right, thank you, Madam Quality.
Okay, let me
Quality, you finish your time. You have finished your time.
I'm not active again. Please give me this time. I want to talk on offing this farm. The Nigerian we know has already off this farm, borrowing and spending. Now they have already borrowed ahead. Even the pregnant woman now, the child that she's going to born 20 years to come, that child has already been borrowed. So the destiny of that child has already been borrowed.
Thank you. I appreciate it. That's your opinion, but that's not the reality.
Let me quickly chip in something.
Okay.
It's unfortunate that the Nigerian people have lost confidence in their government and those who are governing them. Because ordinarily, people shouldn't. First of all, it wasn't proper to ask people to go and fill out a form to go and buy rice. And secondly, people shouldn't feel some sense of tribalism, ethnicity around it. But this is where we are. People no longer trust.
Why do we have to even imagine that we have to pretend to be from a particular place to be favored?
No, because that's absurd. I'll tell you something that will shock you. When you go to the general hospitals, Lasuth and all of that, you'll find out that sometimes your name determines whether you'll get a bed or not.
Are you serious? I don't believe you.
I am telling you, your name will determine. Even in Lagos, you as you know, to rent a house now, you need to begin to look for a name, or you need to look for somebody. I've had 1 or 2 persons who wanted to rent a house, and they were actually asked to bring somebody, an elderly Yoruba person, to vouch for them. As a single lady, we know today, you can't even get a house to rent.
Oh, but by the way, my hairdresser did something to me today. So he said, "Oh, we mentioned something about a house." I was like, "Okay, I don't mind. I think I have somebody who's looking for XYZ kind of house around, and you have a space." She said, "Yes." She said, "No, I don't want a moibo." She's not a landlord, though.
Oh.
She's the tenant.
So that shows you how deep this ethnicity thing
crazy.
and tribalism
it's
thing
crazy.
has gone.
All right, moving on to some messages. Ugo, I see your message. Go ahead and send the email. The unjust crackdown on people protesting over hunger crisis is unfortunate and not acceptable. It's very bad and sad that we are now under a grip and solution to our crisis is becoming a complete mirage. His Royal Highness BC Moko sent it that. Chicks from Ikorodu says, my advice to the president is that he cannot govern Nigeria the way he did in Lagos. He should address the issues raised by the protesters instead of trying to suppress them. These tactics worked in Lagos but can't suffice in Nigeria. That's what he says. And then Pari from Apostle Pari Egan says, talking of structure, yes, I think the challenges of the country is the kind of government we are running. Federal system of government, but it's also on paper and not in practice until we weaken the center and allow the states to generate their own fund and pay tax to the center. The way the quest to be president at all costs will be. They say that way the quest to be president at all costs will be whittled.
But you see, even at that, why are the governors themselves not taking responsibility? We know how much the governors are collecting. What are they using the money for? What are they using the money for?
Agree.
It is time for the Nigerian people. Let us, in as much as we are attacking the president, we must also attack the governors.
So and
I think it is time that we have a law. The National Assembly should be awake and alive. We need to have a law where that if money is being disbursed to a governor every month and there is nothing to show for it, stop sending the money to him. You can't be giving money to people and nobody's giving account of the money. It is recklessness.
So I have often said that there is no country, no state in Nigeria without one or two, at least two natural resources or mineral resources that it can make money from. Why are we all lazy and waiting for the center every month end to get money?
See, let me tell you the truth. The minerals resources you're talking about brings you down to mining. It's very expensive doing normal mining. We don't have infrastructure for real mining. And that is why you have all this illegal mining going on. And the government is losing in that sense. And because we are all dependent, a lot of people in government see the oil as national cake. So everybody is carrying their knife, trying to cut a little out of it without, considering the person who baked the cake. And that's where that's an issue. We need to look at who baked the cake, the other resources that went into baking that cake, and ensuring that you do not pull it down.
All right. So Brownson from Egbeda says anti-oppression in the Nigerian problem can never be solved by, you said something, but I can't read that. Good evening, Precious and Prince. They are now saying the sponsors of the protest are in diaspora. So it's no longer Mr. Peter Obiabi. Okay, it's all right. Trust me. They will not win this war. They must be forced to address the demands of the people. Nana from Okafa sent in that message. Again, Precious, with the protests going on in Port Harcourt and other major cities in the Niger Delta, what now happens to Asari Dokubo with all the mobilization he received from government to quell the protests in the region? Comrade Godfrey sent in that message. Comrade. How many times did I call you? Hello, good evening and welcome.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, welcome.
Yo. Precious, you see, when there is a problem...
What's your name, sir? Or ma'am? What's your name, please?
My name is Charles.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Yeah.
Well, I can't hear you very well. Your network is distorted, but let's see if we can manage.
Can you hear me now?
Go ahead, please.
Hello?
Go ahead, please.
Okay. if there's a problem, the most important thing is to ask for how to solve that problem.
Mm.
You know, when there's a sickness, you know the name of the sickness, you know the medicine you try to take away. So I believe that Nigerians should stop, talking about what government are doing them. They know that it must happen. They must deal with them. So what Nigeria is supposed to be talking now, how are we going to be free? You understand? Not even by sharing blood or, of course, destroying things. It's by organizing ourselves. There is two names that will solve problems. In truth, we must trust movement. Justice is kind of life movement. This is what we need to nurture. If you nurture all these things, all these two names, that is the name will solve all the problems we have in Nigeria. And people will solve it. People will nurture that problem, those two names as kind of God.
Thank you.
So I want to say, if they nurture it, you will see the change that will come. Because
thank you.
The people have the power to
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Hello, good evening to you.
Good evening, Auntie Precious.
Sir?
My name is Austin from Negweda. My greeting to Ogachilaka.
He can hear you. Go ahead.
My opinion on those flags that are raising in the north, because I live in north and I hear all what they are saying. Listen me. They have confidence that army will not do them harm, and they are laying their complaint to the army to relate to the presidency. But the army is saying them another thing. Listen me. What they say them from the army to tell them, okay, make them no do again. We go relate to the, but army keep them quiet. That's why they started giving. Say the way they think, the way they think here. And it's true. I want to tell the Nigerians, are we in democracy? That's the question. Are we in democracy? Our president is a Democrat. How can we talking that we are democratic in government and you cannot express your opinion? You cannot come and protest. Are we in democracy? Then they want to block the people that are over, to track them wherever they come. They will kill them. They will persecute them. So they don't want this protest to stop. That's what they're trying to tell us. And the two. And what happened in Ojota today, one of my brothers was coming from that. He was very ashamed of being in Nigeria. The way they are maltreating people, talks and aburu, taking the over of police and security work. They are now security in Lagos now. They are now police army in Lagos now. They are now a security agent in Nigeria now. They are taking law into their hands. And the police are watching, looking at them. That they, but I pity for this country. Anybody will help for this government.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate you. Hello, good evening to you. Hello. Oh dear. Hello, good evening. Oh, please help me turn off the volume of your radio set. Good evening. Unfortunately, hello, good evening to you.
Yeah, good evening, Madam Precious.
You're welcome. Thank you, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Chinyaka. It's a.
What's your name, sir? What is your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Chicks. I'm calling from United Kingdom.
You're welcome. Go ahead.
Yeah, when you listen to these people who come on TV and talk, you wonder the kind of democracy they're talking about. Because you cannot have democracy whereby the president come to make a speech, he just said to the people, go home. Go home for what? You need to address the people. Show that empathy that you understand them. Mr. Chinyaka, you were saying, they have to do this, have to do that. Tell me which institution that is working in Nigeria. Without institutions working, there's nothing anybody can do about this. And that is the cry of the people protesting. Let the institutions work. If the senators make law today, who is gonna carry that law out? That is the problem we are facing. Thank you.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Okay. Hello, good evening. When you call me, please ensure that the volume of your radio set is already low. Please, I beg you. Ratings to Senate President is not existing. Ekene sent in that message. And Ekene Chiku from First Access, what surprises me the most is the fact that at any point in time, the FG can just call on any uniformed men to go against peaceful protesters. Now, he has told immigration officers to block all airports and borders to catch protesters that are coming into the country. I will not be surprised if he calls on Ibubago and Omoteku to also go against the protesters. Kenechiko sent in that message. Kenechiko, you're not nice. Hello, good evening to you.
Let me know what's happening.
Hello.
Huh?
All right.
Hello, Precious.
Oh dear, I was about to cut you off.
Precious.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
You're welcome. Go ahead. What's your name, sir?
Let me greet the wise prince, the prince Chila.
That will be Joval.
Of course, I'm the only one that can call the prince.
Joval, your time is starting. Not when I cut you, so I'm cheating you.
Precious, sir? I will protest against you very soon.
You will not protest, though. You have 1.5 minutes, 90 seconds. So just go ahead.
You are protesting against me already. I'll protest against you very soon.
Until your time.
Precious, I'm sorry about what happened to your crew.
Thank you.
You can imagine. So where are we headed to? Democracy. I've said it that what we practice in Nigeria is not democracy, it is electocracy. That is why after 4 years, they'll come and beg us for their votes. Then we give them after that. We have no business with them. Nigerians can check the meaning of electocracy. That's what we practice here. It's not democracy. If it's democratic, they will allow press to do their job. Press is the only function in this country that is guaranteed in the Constitution, the fourth estate of the realm. So I don't understand if a Nigerian police should collect a phone of a press person and he took our friend.
It was not taken by the Nigerian police.
It was taken by thugs.
Took it.
Okay.
So it was
all right.
Yes, okay. The thugs took it, and it took the intervention of SP Hundein to give it back, recognizing that they're from us.
All right. Yes. I stand corrected by that, but I expected that those thugs should be arrested immediately because they have nothing to. They are not supposed to stop the press from doing their job. So as far as that was identified, the next thing the police would have done was not just to recover the phones, but to arrest the thugs. That's what they should have done. So, and that is that for that. So, like I keep saying, it has gone the way it gone. I heard that the governor of Lagos State made an announcement that the protest is ended. So I think the idea of Lagos State is that there's no protest. So everything is fine.
I'm not aware of that announcement, but just go ahead, please.
Well, I heard that actually. So I know that.
So you heard what our reporter said, that they suspended the protest for today, and they said tomorrow will be a time for Methaya to remember those and honor those who died during the protest. I appreciate you, Joe, your time is up.
Okay, if that's the way it is, it's all right. But one thing I want to say is that we keep hoping that it will be good. God willing, one day.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. Hello, good evening. Hello,
good evening.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Mr. Precious,
open your mouth and talk now. I have people on standby waiting. You're wasting time. Talk quick, eh? Good evening and welcome.
I send my greetings to your guest.
He can hear you. Go ahead.
Good evening, sir. Actually, my name is Deep Prince. I'm calling from Lagos.
You're welcome. Go ahead.
It's been long I called you last. When I called you last, it was during some weeks before the election, and so many things I told you concerning the election came to pass. But in that time, because of what is happening, I don't like calling again. It seems as if we are sounding to an empty drum. But somewhere along the line, you people are talking of the Northerners. The same Northerners are being killed. I'm not a Northerner. The same Northerners are being disposed from their ancestral home. The same Northerners, as I'm talking to you, cannot go to camp. They cannot have a privilege of going to school. In fact, every year, our government is telling us that they are sending billions and billions of naira to our enforcement agencies, and nothing has been done to that region. Kidnapping has been on top. In fact, it's increasing every day. So many other states like Benue, Nasarawa, Makurdi, and so on and so forth. In fact, it's nothing to write home about concerning this.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right. So let's take a few reactions from going back to our WhatsApp before we go back to YouTube. The YouTube messages are waiting in their numbers. Good evening, Madam Precious and your guest. My name is Chinedu from Alaba International Market. You see, when ordinary Nigerians are complaining and commenting about what's happening in Nigeria, some journalists denied it. Thank God, one or more of your staffs are experiencing it. Yeah. Those that are pretending are not doing it for their own good alone, but for the betterment of everyone, including protesting rather, but for the betterment of everyone, including you and me. When we're ready and tired, our actions and reactions will send them serious messages. Unfortunate that you do not understand, and I don't know how I can make you understand. It's very unfortunate that you're even thanking God and almost excited that it hit some journalists. If only you know that we're just victims of circumstances. It's a pity. The Senate President is hereby rated 0. This is the worst Senate President that Nigeria ever had in the history of this country. Philip from Alimosho sent in that message. Okay. All right. So this here says, good evening, Precious and Prince. I am just joining the show and I heard you discuss the Senate President of Nigeria. I think he has put the whole Senate into disrepute and ought to be impeached. He doesn't know his role and he's causing more problems in his party. I rest my case. See why I sent in that message. And then this here says, the good evening, Precious. As far as the Senate President, he looks like to the nation. As Nigerians are protesting, he's enjoying his generational I weep for my country. See why, honestly, from Isola sent in that message. Let's see if I can go straight to YouTube and take some YouTube reactions before they'll swear for me, dear, because they like to swear for us. Okay, I just take random messages from YouTube because I can't tell exactly where to even begin with the YouTube messages. They're quite numerous. Osring Page Ogbaja says, the beginning and end of APC rascality ruling Nigerians. That's what he says. And then Jessica Sumano says, streamers in Nandekano because the North just started calling Russia to come and colonize them. As much as they lifted these Russian flags, it is a sign that they are not tired, that they are tired of one Nigeria. Namdi Iheme says, okay, Jeff, I see you. Good evening too. Kingsley Smith says, Asari, why did you not see them? Asari, where did I not see you stopping anybody? Nathaniel Abu says, Moses, don't worry, Nnamdi Kanu is not your business. Injustice to one is an injustice to all. It is his turn today. Tomorrow, it may be our own turn. Prince Will Obika says, Akpabio, withdraw the statement. You can go and protest while they stay at home. The ancestors are not happy with you. It's telling Akpabio that he should withdraw that statement, that the ancestors are not happy with him.
It was going to give a withdrawal very soon.
He already did. He said he didn't mean it that way.
He never means anything.
No, he already did.
The height of his sensitivity.
He said he was misquoted, misunderstood. Yeah. So only God boundary says, why restrictions did they restrict the situation the Senate President Akpabio eating while protest is going on? Where is Asari Dokobo? Okay. All right. And Justice Wanchiku says, after Tinubu's regime, any other person that will rule Nigeria, we are going to still complain and do debates about bad governance. Nigeria, wake up and be your own president. What do you mean? Santan Glory says, the protesters should not leave the road until the refineries in Port Harcourt start producing PMS and selling at 150. Do you know the most annoying thing about Rivers State? We have a refinery there. And of course, it's one of the largest oil producing states in Nigeria. But do you know they buy fuel at one of the most expensive rates?
I said
most of them are not buying fuel anything less than 800, 850, 900 in Port Harcourt, yes. River State. Oh, by the way, if we're talking about waterway, there is a waterway there, so we can actually offload PMS there. So why can't we?
I gave you an analogy when we were talking earlier. I said Nigeria is a country where we take the cake, we eat the cake, we kill the person who baked it. That is what is happening in Nigeria. Take the oil and make sure that those who produce the oil or the places where this oil is produced do not get anything at the end of the day. And that is what is happening. It's so shameful that we do not have any refinery working. Yet, NNPCL will keep telling you, by the end of March, by the end of May, by the end of August, by the end of September, the refineries will work. Yet, we're spending money, paying salaries to people who have not added any value to this country.
All right. Amobi from 7 and 8 says, Precious, I heard you read that police spokesperson saved the protesters from hoodlums. No, my staff actually, at television staff, right? But you did not tell us how many of the hoodlums were arrested. Are they beyond arrest or are they government sponsored? They want me song within my head where I won't sing for you, but I not sabi sing. I would have given you the lyrics right now. Okay, so going back to YouTube messages. Chibuike Aningo says, I will give him 0/0. Okay, that's a pass mark. Only God Boundary says, are you not a Nigerian too? Star Daniel says, Akpabio. Kene Ezike says, Akpabio correct. His scorecard is 10%. That's 10/100. Star Daniel says, Akpabio, yes man to Tinubu. Queen Adako says, heavy disaster, talking without thinking. He thinks he will stay there forever. Emmanuel Lucy says, Akpabio is a big disgrace. I thought Lawal would be the worst, not knowing another one was coming. And then Active Biafra says, Tinubu senior. Okay, all right, I rest my case. Star Daniel says, well done. Any former Philip says 0 to Akpabio. I'm not too sure if Akpabio is a senator or a senate president. A primary school student can perform better. Guys, cut that. All right, your phone lines are still open for call 0700 903 903 903. Hello, good evening to you. WhatsApp is 0817 175 6338.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Welcome.
My name is Bashir, calling from Yanaikpaja.
You're welcome, Bashir.
Yeah, your secret admirer anyway, but that's by the way.
Thank you. Welcome.
Good evening, Mr. Prince Chilaka.
Good evening.
Yes, sir. Precious.
Sir?
I don't have anything to say other than to tell you that Nigerians should start discovering themselves. I don't know, it's even delicious to eat bread and toothpaste. Very, very delicious.
Stop it, you guys don't. No, but toothpaste is very expensive. It's not even any cheap. Stop it. So if you did that, then that means you must be rich. It must be a Don Jesse to eat bread and toothpaste. And do you know how much toothpaste is?
Really? Okay. Secondly, you have a rival. She's always disturbing me, telling me not to listen to Precious. That what is it? Let me give her the phone so you can speak with her.
I'm sure that's your baby. I want to
Hello.
guess. Hello. Good evening.
Good evening, my rival. Precious. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir. Yes, sir. Sir.
I'm sorry.
Precious.
Sir.
Once it is your time,
yes.
He sticks to Precious and nothing else can happen.
I'm so sorry.
Precious, and you have a sister too. At least he made me to listen to Promise. I've listened once. You and your sister.
Yes.
Promise will talk. You will talk. But everything is that Precious time, as precious as you are. Thank you for a good job.
Thank you so
made
much.
Me a radio person because of Precious.
Thank you so. But I hope you enjoy what you hear, and I hope we inform you enough. That's important thing to keep us informed and build continuous consciousness so that we are aware.
You do that.
Thank you.
Yeah, you are a radio station with a difference. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about because I don't flatter people.
We women hardly flatter people. You know, we speak it from the mind, so I can imagine.
I don't rub people's heads for anything.
My darling Precious, good night.
Hey, don't darling me again, no. No cost. You say, are you okay? Thank you so much. All right, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys big time. Thank you very much. Okay, I'll take a few more messages here. Adewale from Oshodi says, Tinubu's administration can't afford Nigerians anything good, especially food stuff and the welfare of masses, because all the elected honorables are the ones behind the insecurity of the farmers. How can you say that? Many of them are the ones using our allocation money to book all the foods and basic. So now this reminds me, there's a video that made the round, it's still on social media, about the peasant food that is purportedly or allegedly given to military personnel. So this particular military man, I wish I can play that vox pop. The particular military man narrates, if you see the semo that they are giving, if you see the soup, and he said that the video should be passed around until it gets to the authorities. The reason I had to raise this is that it may even be unknown to the Nigerian government who provides allocation for the military, that they are being given such an inhumane treatment?
Well, it's not new. Severally, the military officers, the rank and file, have come out openly to say that they have been maltreated. Some of them have come and said that they are not being paid allowances for fighting insurgents and all of that. So it is not new. If you remember when Burutai was chief of army staff, there was a time that some people wanted to protest and all of that. Yes, even with the police, with this IG they have not talked about, but the last administration they talked about protests severally, and I remember there was a time they reeled out riot act to the police that they have no right to go on protest. Everybody in this country today, Precious, is going through a lot. It is not just the ordinary Nigerians.
No, but for these people, their money has been allocated. Remember, there is a certain amount of money given to them for feeding daily. These are people fighting Boko Haram, by the way. He said he's in the war front. If you see...
A lot of them keep complaining that the money does not get to them. A lot. It's not new.
Who's probing it? What can we do about it? Or what can be done about it?
It is the same way you cannot do accountability with your governors, your honorable members who collect constituency allowances and project allowances, and your local government chairman. That is the same way you cannot probe those on top of the military and the police. Where are you going to start the probe from? Who are you going to assign to do the probing? The problem we have in this country is lack of accountability, lack of transparency.
All right, going back to the phone lines. Hello, good evening. Good evening. Good evening, are you there? Hello?
How are you?
Sir, I'm fine, thank you, sir. You're welcome.
Good evening.
Good evening. Welcome. What's your name, please, sir?
Sir, my name is Stitches.
Where are you calling from?
Oh, wow.
You're welcome. Go ahead, sir.
Madam Precious.
Sir?
That's I want for you.
Wait, sorry, no vex. Thank you. You're welcome. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. See, what I want to just say is that, you see, the only thing I don't understand in this thing is, why is the government fighting a peaceful protest? Even if it's not even peaceful in the first place, why are they fighting the protest? Like, all we have been hearing is, before the protest, so they want to hijack them. They don't already tell you what they want to do. They want to hijack it, and now you see what is going on. I'm so proud of the Northerners, because I wish that I was in the North. I would have been among those people that are doing whatever they're doing now. But the only thing I don't like about them is you shouldn't go to the public places. It should be anything about the government.
Yes. I hope you know that they're destroying public facilities. They're doing that.
They should go to the public officers' orders, and like what they call office orders. They should go to their places, not destroy, but they should just go to their places and send messages to them. But actually, another thing I want to say is the way you guys respect this, they'll say number one, God, not be my father of the nation, not being born me. I know my papa. This is the person that we elected. We not be me who elect them. They put in the place of.
You will respect. You will respect the seat.
Madam,
you will respect the seat. Yes. So you are respecting the seat of the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
That office,
irrespective of who is there.
Who occupies it?
It is what you should do.
Okay.
Except you don't even have respect for yourself or the country that you live in.
Now,
do you understand? So that's what it is. Please, thank you.
But the thing is that they just ride on us as if like the way Wiki talks, especially that one. What's his name?
Which one again? Sorry, no vex.
Fabio guy. If I see him, I feel daily.
No, sorry. I don't off you. I don't honorable. I don't quench your mic. Honorable, no vex. Going back to more calls. Hello, good evening to you. Good evening. Yes, you're welcome.
My name is Galio from Kano here.
Your name is what?
Aliu.
Where are you calling from?
From Kano.
From Kano?
Yeah.
Oh, you're in Kano right now. How are you listening to us?
Hello, I can't hear you. What do you say?
How are you listening to us from Kano?
I always listen to you.
All right, tell us what's happening in Kano.
Yeah,
you guys are not protesting again in Kano, right?
It's everywhere too.
Everywhere too. I protest they go on. I mean they go on again. Hello? Aliyu, are you there? Hello? Oh dear, looks like I'm losing you. Oh dear, I lost him. I apologize. I really would have loved for you to tell us what the situation is there, is like there. Hello, good evening to you.
Hello?
Yes, please, welcome.
Good evening, Precious.
Thank you.
Yeah, good evening, Prince.
Good evening.
Yeah, my name is Victor calling from Ogun State. Precious, about it?
Is it okay?
Okay.
Well done.
One, I want to talk of Akpabio. If I have my way, I will impeach Akpabio.
Obongo, he's our brother now.
Oh, listen to me. It's a disgrace to Akwa Ibom by talking carelessly under 1 year.
Okay, to say talk under 5 years, but if he spread the talk, he go there better.
Hello?
If he spread the talk, he go there better. If for no concentrator for 1 year, abi?
Under 1 year, how many careless talk for somebody of that position? How can you tell Nigerians to go and protest that you are going to eat in the house? How many people died in this nation and go with their property? That's a part. Concern what that woman said in the area of buying 45,000 naira rice. It's nothing but the truth.
Okay.
They did that so that by the time you go there, know that your name is Effiong. You would have everything. The same thing happened during the registration of voters' card in Lagos, most especially. So all these things, what we know. If you wanted to do something, why can't you just let me just open border for just 3 months?
But right, the president has said that will stop tariff for food from food importation now.
Don't forget about that one. Something makes something to happen. If you are hearing for the crime of people, at least for some time, okay, let me just break the protocol and do this thing for my people. But the same thing we did during the election, but they forgot that people died in Lagos during that time. They said they should go and collect rice. How many people died? Now you ask my grandma to come and register.
Sorry.
The next time the person will go and it's going to be another thing. But Buhari came with NIN. He's going to come with something else.
Sorry.
There's no problem. Thank you.
Thank you. Well done. All right, so I take a few more messages. Oh dear, the calls are coming in their numbers. Hello, good evening. Good evening, are you there? Network will not let me hear you. Okay, so a few messages. As a matter of fact, Nigeria don't enter. I never thought a president could be this in writing wrongs and demands into the yearning of his electors. Anyway, I don't blame. This is your message from Agege. I don't blame the president, but the INEC chair. Your message, you don't let me read it now. Why are you doing like this now? Babeji from Oshodi says, may God continue to protect and preserve all of us in this country to achieve victory to the end. Amen. And then you said, please, Precious, help Nigerians beg the security agencies to allow themselves to be used, or not to allow themselves to be used against Nigerians, or make themselves anti-Nigerians. We are hungry, suffering, crying, and dying because of bad governance of Buhari and now this administration, or of APC administration for about 9 years now. Please help us beg them to stop killing Nigerians. May they not add killing to them. And then good evening, Precious, and the guests in the studio. This government has not shown any concern to the plight of Nigerians. Thank God I never expected anything less than what is happening now. Also, please help me ask your guests why the court is giving injunctions preventing Nigerians from protesting. Is that also part of democracy, or the judiciary has been bought to Taiwo from Ejigbo? The kind of things you guys write, you will not kill me. Okay, good evening, Madam Sama. Gentlemen, someone should answer me. Why police officer lying for God's sake? In national news said mistakenly, police officer shot police officer. But now he's saying nothing like that. May God help us. Amen. Baba Aduga from Lagos Oshodi. No mistake in shooting, because it's have 4 steps before the gun answers. So he says. And then Harry Ogada from Pangrove says Precious Akpabio is just a rubber stamp who doesn't have a single respect for ordinary people. Nigeria is unfortunate to have such as their Senate president. And Peter Igboneku says having a Senate president like Akpabio is a complete disaster. A man that talks more like I'm not going to say that. You not catch me reading that. And then I go to some other messages. Well done, Precious. Anytime someone calls your name, Precious, my 1-year-old will say, sir. We enjoy your program. Well done, Joy. Thank you so much, Joy from Ikpaja. I appreciate it. And now home training. Too much home training. Now they worry me. Good evening, Precious. They claim to be a Democrat. When they get there, they become military. What a democracy. Innocent Israel from Maryland sent in that message. And Casey from Blue Heaven says, good evening, Precious. Those of your crew members who said they were attacked, do they have proof? Where is the evidence that they were attacked? I have no pity because the ordinary man who has no voice, no media to report to, no government official to defend him speaks. The media will begin to ask him for evidence instead of going to the scene to find out. If you go to the scene, what would you find out? You guys don't understand. Don't worry. Thank you for your station 90.3 for keeping us informed with events of the protest nationwide and your in-depth analysis, Reverend Kashmir from Itire. Reverend Kashmir, you should go check out our TV station on YouTube because we're giving you live updates from the protest ground, even across other states too. So you should go check us out on YouTube. It's at VOP TV Live. Sometimes we'll have our correspondents join us live and, for almost 1 hour, giving us time to time events as they unfold. You should go watch it out there. All right, let's take this call. It's a final call. Good evening to you. You're lucky to be a final caller because I was just about to end the show. Good evening to you and welcome. Hello, good evening and welcome.
Can you hear me?
Very well, loud and clear. Just reduce the noise from your background. That's all.
Okay, I called the number thinking it is live on the VOP.
It is live on VOP. That's where you are, Oga.
Okay, but the one I'm listening here is not the same.
You're listening to another VOP because we're here now. It's delayed from your end. So that's why you have to turn down the volume of your radio sets.
All right, let me just off it.
Please, off it, sir. Be quick, please. You have just 30 seconds left. Now? I can hear you quickly. Go ahead. What's your name, sir?
I am calling from Guyana.
You're welcome.
My name is Chris.
You're welcome. Go ahead.
Yeah. So according to what is happening there, the things I heard about the type of food given the military people are fighting the insurgency.
Yes.
So what is happening there is what we call Manamananihi Pompitanazo as Igbo people. You know what is Manamananihi Pompitanazo?
I will ask Prince Francis Chilaka to interpret for me. Don't worry, just go ahead quickly.
Okay. So like you are cutting in the bush, I come out to the road and ask who is cutting in the bush. Is the equivalent to it.
Okay.
So that is what they are doing. They knows what they are doing. Feeding people like that, fighting Boko Haram or the insurgencies. How do the people get strength to fight? Is it not the same thing? They knows what they are doing. They knows what they are doing.
Thank you so much.
You cannot tell me that you are giving somebody a little food to fight. How can? It doesn't happen.
Thank you.
So please, and another thing about the Nnamdi Kanu of it, can you hear now that the protesters, they are not protesting against Nnamdi Kanu again because the Igbo people are not following. Yes, they use it as a strategy to bring the Igbo people out so that the protests will go on. Who is fooling who?
All right, thank you. Thank you so much.
That is what I want to say. Thank you very much. I love the program. Thank you.
We love you too here. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Prince Francis Chilaka, in 30 seconds, if you would like. Your partner short, sir.
For me, Nigerians need to stop focusing on their president. We need to start focusing on our state governments. They are the problem of this country. They collect so much money and we see little development across the states.
All right. Thank you so much, Legal. That's the size of our package. Are you on social media? What's your social media handle quickly, sir?
All my social media is Prince Francis Chilaka.
All right, at Francis Chilaka. My name is Precious Inyi. You can catch me across all social media platforms. So help me. On Instagram is at Precious Inyi Official. Twitter, Precious_Inyi. And YouTube, where I'm most active, is at Precious Inyi TV. Enyi is spelled ENYI, so it's Precious ENYI TV on YouTube. I'll see you again tomorrow evening, God willing. Dr. Deji Omoshola will be with me tomorrow evening, and of course, we'll be bringing perspective to events that unfold tomorrow. I love you guys. Please stay safe and have a good night.